Hello everyone, welcome for this weekly show. Every Saturday, 11 a.m. San Francisco time. I've got Malarki with me, who's a modular synth artist, a fan of Max MSP, and just joined a collective of artists. All right, let's launch the intro, and hello everybody who just joined. Hello everyone, I'm Frank Martin and I'm with Malarki. Hi Malarki.
Hello, how are you?
All right, checking all the sound volume and everything, so please let me know how it's going. So I see that I've got Alphaster who joined, I've got Franck Semi, I've got HR Terror, Mariana Kovakovic, and Nelly Bonar. Hello everybody. Reminder, please click on like, subscribe, follow, everything. So like this, you know about all this show going on every Saturday, but you need the notification. So thank you, welcome. So first things, this is my site, pitchymango.org. So if you want to know more about everything, that's where you go. I'd like to thank all my Bandcamp supporters. So if you want to add your name to this list, go to Bandcamp and become a subscriber. It's a little bit like Patreon, and my entry price is like $20. So and that allowed me to, recover the cost, getting the bandwidth, making CD. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about the actuality. I see Electric Kitchen has joined us. That's awesome, and I see Andrew Bonar also join. So Malarki, feel free also to comment and etc. One thing, so Waveform Magazine is a magazine about modular synthesizer, and the issue number 4 dropped digitally, Thursday? So I've got it, and it should be in the mail soon. So if you want to subscribe to Waveform, it's quite nice. Got a lot of interviews of people, music review, gear review too. It used to be free, it's not free anymore, so you need to go on the site and subscribe. So that's and it's made a little bit from Seattle, which has got a very good modular. Yes, Alphaster Waveform is awesome. Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Malarki?
Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah.
I wanted to talk also about envelope.us. So envelope is a space in San Francisco that has got, here it's written 32 speakers. And also they've got a mobile, and I saw recently that due to COVID, they had to close their location, I think, in Salt Lake City. I think they have created another location. So if you want to support special music, have a place where you can listen to it and have a look at Envelope. It's nice. They do events, they do yoga, meditation, but also listening to album like Dark Side of the Moon that has a quadraphonic. That's quite nice. Oh, Dylan sang join. Yeah. I wanted to talk about Bay Improviser, but I wanted to talk about resident electronic music that I co-host with Jason Payload and Easy Puzzle. Easy Puzzle is moving out of the Bay Area, so as we say, best of luck in your next play. He was our MC all this time. But if you want to participate in organizing resident electronic music, please contact me. Other also person that just joined us as part of organizing resident is Fez. I haven't seen Fez yet online. Yes, we'll see him soon. So if you want to join, and the next event is on July 14, Tuesday at 8 p.m. You can sign up online. You just need to create a video of you performing electronic music, less than 20 minutes, put it on YouTube, make it as unlisted, and we will have a watch session with everybody. So please check it and please join. Other similar event, there's Resonant Frequencies Electric Kitchen is helping organize it at the moment. It's run also by Kevin and Dirty Bill. And it's on the first Sunday of the month. I don't have yet the full detail, but I think they're trying to be sure. So also check for resonant frequencies. And we are waiting. I see things are starting to reopen, so maybe soon we'll have a peak going on again with KZLuna. All right. Oh, Andrew is asking, what's the secret between all the blending? It's called OBS Studio. Yeah, you've got the secret. And I think, Malarki, you perform at some of this event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've performed at Resonant Frequencies a number of times. It's a lot of fun. It's a very welcoming community. Any style goes. You'll hear everything from gentle ambient music to heavy pounding noise music, and sometimes right next to each other. So whatever your style is great. It's very welcoming. You show up an hour early, sign up. First timers get precedence over more experienced people. It's a really good place to just get used to performing to an audience. There's live visualists. That's among them who's here. And you'll have visuals to accompany how you play. Right now it's in the cloud. So these are mixed together on a remote server in a country that varies from month to month. Resident I've been performing at since it's been online. Just a matter of my schedule. Actually make it easier to do it when it was online through streaming. But they're both great events, a lot of overlap in the community. One's in Oakland, one's in San Francisco. So depending on where you're at, one or the other might be more convenient.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have several events, and I think also Hazel was starting to organize one around Napa.
Digital Grass.
Yes, Digital Grass, thank you.
I've been to every occurrence of Digital Grass, and that means that there was one, because we were just getting it started when COVID broke out. So here's hoping that it will come back when the time is right.
Yes, and when you start an event and moving it online, it's created, so hope it reboots. Happy who's joined All That Guns also. Hi, All That Guns. Mixing up with all the screen. I wanted to talk also, Jean-Michel Jarre is doing a 360 VR concert this Sunday. I think that will be 12 p.m. San Francisco time. So it's gonna be interesting. I like spatial audio, I like 360. But I don't have a VR headset, so I'll see what I can do to watch it. Wasn't going to buy a VR headset for this concert yet, so we'll see. What else do we have? Yesterday was it's not the Bandcamp day, but it's Bandcamp started to do some special Fridays. They've got one every month where they waive their fees, or all the music that usually the money that usually go to Bandcamp goes to all the artists. And yesterday, the money that they receive as part of managing Bandcamp from your purchase is going to the NAACP, of other charities. And also, if you want and are interested, there is a link which is the Black Bandcamps. I'll put it here. We just got a list of person of colors artists that are on Bandcamp that you can. The mouse is quite tablet. All right, what's next? This week also I saw the San Francisco Tape Music Collective release a new album with several pieces from the local community. So while doing the history of electronic music in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Tape Music Center was a fundamental foundation piece. It operated for 3 years, then moved to Mills College, and from Mills College, then this has always been continuing. So nowadays, this kind of San Francisco Tape Music Collective has got various names. That sound roughly in this movie. They release music. I think also they've got a a show where you come to listen for special created. And Maggie Payne, I think she's a director of the Tape Music Center at Mills College. And she made a piece which is that she did middle of the COVID. And she sent me some release note. She was saying that it was a little bit while she was working on it, and at the same time there was a solar probe that was launched to go closer to the sun and have a better music and version, and that's why she named it the Chill. He said that she created all the sound on the Moog 3-piece synthesizer at the Mills College except some cricket sound. I guess that she sampled. So have a look at this album on Bandcamp. It's quite interesting, and it's experimental music. Right. Cover all the news. If you have got any news or something like that, please put it on the chat. And I'm more than happy, really. And I see Electric Kitchen say we'll be back with Franck stream live on June 5th. Right. So that's June 5th. And Alphaster will be one of the artists.
Right.
All that gone say yes. Envelope Sorority that they were shooting. I guess they'll reopen one. People can. So that's a little bit on the news side of things. So let's go back to Malarki. Oh, Malarki, who are you?
Hi, my name is Patrick. I publish my personal music under the name Malarki, and have used it for years, but for years mostly just kept music private, just where I was in life. Music background, I grew up playing lots of different instruments, starting with one of these old school electric organs that I think my stepfather's cousin convinced my parents to take off his hands. And that kind of is what got me interested in electronic music very early. But then I went through learning how to play violin and bass guitar, played in a school orchestra, played in a band for a while. In terms of what I do now, I didn't realize this until a few people pointed it out to me, but those were actually very musically formative experiences that influence a lot about how I do things now. Life has taken me in lots of different directions, but along the way, I picked up playing with synthesizers at one point, learned guitar, learned cello. Lately, I've been practicing piano a lot, so I kind of have had music around in some form for a very long time. We had kids, so when they hit the point of becoming more independent, that's when I started to perform out some more. And I also have a software background, which also heavily influences what I do. And that if I get an idea and can't find anything that actually does that idea, I'll just start to figure out either how to program it or how to build it in Max or something like that. So it's an interesting point of view in that I pull from all these diverse backgrounds and kind of imagine like I'm trying to say, well, what if I take an orchestral arrangement but use it with a noisy synthesizer voices, and what comes out of that? So that's kind of my musical background and how it feeds into what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and I like your music. It's I don't know, something a little bit different that I usually listen to, so that's nice in this group of musicians that we have in the Bay Area. It makes me discover different genres that I don't know. It's meeting people and what they do, and then you get interesting in what they do, and just. I posted your link also to Bandcamp. The albums with them. Yeah, and also I would like to say, also recently you joined a label, but I don't know. I think we can call it more like a musician collective.
It's both. It's Airgrid Records. It's a number of musicians to list everyone off, and I'm going to read this to make sure I don't miss anyone. Tate, TLS, Modic, Defanix, Nundale, John Wells, Sleep Clinic, Snakes of Russia, and myself. It's a great group of musicians who are individually making very innovative music. It's kind of on the darker side of instrumental electronic. It fits our time very well right now. I'm very excited to see what's coming together with it. There's a website, Eric Reid Records, where you can find out more about everyone that's on there. A few things that are out right now. The first release from Mundale is out. It's called Staircases A. And the next two releases have been announced publicly. Tate has Silver Lines, which comes out the 25th, which is this week. And then Defenix has Centipede, which comes out on July 9th. But pretty much everyone has something in the works that will be appearing sometime over the course of the next few months. It's very exciting to see what's coming together. And I think it's very innovative. And that's what had me excited about it. That it's collecting a lot of people who have unique visions that all kind of thematically fit naturally together.
Yes, and I'm still not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's best you define, what style you would call your music or grid. If anybody can put a label on it.
That's interesting, and that someone yesterday was referring to the sound of error grid in a conversation. And it's interesting because if I listen to everyone's individual personal music who's on the label, I hear different things in terms of how I think about them. Some of it I would call IDM, intelligent dance music. Some of them I would call more glitch-driven, which is something that definitely influences my work. Some things I would call dark ambient. Some things I would call leaning towards industrial techno. Some things are more what I would call experimental, glitchy, modular. It's much more, like in terms of genre, it's much more about people providing really unique creative voices. I know a lot in electronic music we tend to get focused on here sometimes, and like we have labels that will say, hey, we're putting out modular music. This isn't so much about that as it is about, hey, we've got unique creative visions and they're all kind of aligned. And how we get there is less important than what you have to say.
Yeah, well, yes. There's always a two component. There's a technical aspect, being able to project your vision and realize it. And we get geeky, and then there's what inspires you. So last week I had Nathan, but at one stage, did an album mastered by Nathan. So, okay, all the search engine and everything, they want tag and they want, I have no idea what my music is. Can you help me? Can you give me some tags, because I don't know.
So it's interesting in that, like, if you post something to social media, it's good to tag it to get attention. And I tag a number of genres, but I don't really identify any of my work as being a genre. It's more so what other people have told me they think it is. And I just keep notes about that. Oh, that person thought that I made this, and this person thought that I made that. And sometimes they're completely out of agreement with each other, which is fine because I'm not trying to make any one thing. It's more about what personally interests me and what's personally a good tool to use it to say what's on my mind.
So where do you find your inspiration, or what set you up?
It's not so much a conscious choice as something that I recognize that I do. One of them is just outright curiosity on, like last year I went through a phase where I said, the design of old Buchla modules are really interesting. That's not really a gear road that I want to go down. But from a how you approach instrument design and sound composition standpoint, those ideas are incredibly fascinating. And then I started looking into how some of them were put together and said, there were some things that he tried that haven't been tried. And I wonder if I could tinker around in Max to build something that builds up a module, but say, instead of having this kind of core oscillator in there, let's replace it with a bunch of FM chains. So like these kinds of questions, I'll just like imagine to myself and say, okay, then let's just play around in Max and start to do that. And then eventually that turns into a composition over the course of a few months. So some things come from that experimental questioning thing. When I work on those, eventually I find a voice for what that track is trying to say, but it doesn't always start there. At other times, I think more of there's something going on in the world. This is what's happening right now with what I'm working on, and I just need to kind of channel my personal emotions about that somewhere, and this music is a good place to do that. So that's when I'm more likely to sit down at a piano and start working out chord progressions or working out harmonic progressions on a modular sequencer, and just trying to capture my internal feelings about that, and putting that into it. So the place that I come from can vary, and I don't really have rules for myself about that. It's whatever's on my mind in a given week.
Yeah, I kind of do it a little bit both ways. Sometimes I start, I've got an idea, I want to try something technical, or or I didn't know I could use a certain module this way. I tried that, and then from there, then grow a patch music. But the growing of the patch is in between. I'm trying to do something new because I want it to what inspires me, and I grow. And sometimes, I don't know, maybe most of the time for me is whatever I've tried to realize is not what I'm realizing.
Oh yeah, I never try to make, or I rarely try to make something consciously where I say I definitely want it to fit at this place in the end. Usually I put myself in a creative box at some point and say, now here's the limiters on this whole thing I'm working on, and those limiters will define where I'm going to let it go. But whatever like final form vision I have at the moment, I know that's not where it's going, and I have to let it find itself. And that's actually part of why I publish music off of my name, and that it lets me separate mentally how I identify myself from just letting the music be what it wants to be. And I find that to be a really useful tool. Just focus on letting that go where it needs to go and not worry about it.
But sometimes for me is I'm lacking, technical expertise, or but in vision and realizing I'm lacking the tools or the knowledge, the experience. It's still interesting. This is where I want to go and let myself flow. Like, if I find something that sounds good on the way up. I see. First I want to say thanks to Nelly and Andrew Bonar for becoming members of my Bandcamp community. That's awesome. I see also AM Philip Koski, trying to say his name right, who's running Data Cult Audio. It's a very nice podcast. Every week he has got a new modular synth artist about one playing music. So there's nothing, you can get it to your favorite music device every week. Check it out, Data Cult Audio. I don't see many people asking questions, so please feel free. I like to have people in the chat say hi and asking questions. It's an interaction. It's here. I see Mariana was asking any plan for Inwo Ball on Fridays. I need to go back to work. I'm working from home. That's step one, and then we'll restart that. Yes. So we were talking about Max MSP. I don't know. I kind of hold this show as you're a fan of Max MSP.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about it. I've seen you performing with it, but I didn't dive into the manual and everything. However, what's interesting was I was doing the the timeline for the history of electronic music in San Francisco. So the name Max is based on Max Matthews, that used to be a professor at Karma in Stanford, and he is one of the first 1960s. Yes, Max Dew and John Showing were early professor of electronic music, and Max is known as one of the first to have a music control software that was popular. And I think the MSP I did, but when I think it was in, I need to do a search.
I think it was later. It was when
Oh,
DS
yeah, 96.
more practical on laptops and home computers.
Okay, yeah, I've got it. So in 1990, Ocode System released the first commercial available version of Max. That was also licensed from Arkham in France. And that was released at a conference, Cycling 74. I think it was in San Francisco, this conference. And then David Zigarelli created MSP for Max also, Cycling 7. So this is really, Max MSP is something really local. So what is it and how do you use it now?
I think of it as, and this is me coming from a software background, of a place to do node graph-based programming for audio, event sequencing, and also visuals. It's got this whole large suite of tools called Jitter for doing procedural visuals work. And it's recently gotten really well integrated with modern OpenGL, so it's gotten pretty powerful. From my standpoint, it's about, I have an idea and I want to build it, and being a software person, I'll gravitate towards software over a hardware prototype. And when I work in there, it just achieves a state of mental flow where I don't really think about what I'm doing too much and can just work really fast. For anyone interested in it, building a sequencer is a really good place to start. You can interface it with anything. You can interface it with external tools by sending out control signals, either through Eurorack or through MIDI, or you can build your own protocols to send data out. First thing that I built with it was an AV piece where I was sending data to a WebGL visualization. And so that was kind of a custom thing that I built. It was also a challenge of, hey, I'm going to learn this and let's just figure out how to do it. You can do much simpler things pretty easy. There's a great set of tutorials that come with it. It's got very low-level oscillators. It's also powerful in that if you have an idea that takes 60 to 70 oscillators, you can probably do that. Whereas if you do that in Eurorack, that starts to become a budgetary constraint. Just like in terms of the power of what you can do with it, that's what really appeals to me. You can build your own synthesizers. You can prototype designs. I know people who build guitar pedals and things like that will often prototype their designs first in Max about what the whole thing should be built like. I also find it really useful because you can build user interfaces like this. This is a fairly simple one that I use for the set that we're going to play. But sometimes they get a lot more complicated in that if I have a sequencer with a bunch of options, I can encode all those in there, have some algorithmic stuff that runs in response to that, so I can have something that's like a performable algorithmic piece where I'm kind of guiding these processes that are happening in the code. So if you're into trying to come up with ideas that are automated, but you want to have some degree of high-level control over them and simplify things, it's a really good tool for that.
Yes. I see Amanda Chaudhary join, and she say she uses Max MSP often these days, integrated with the modular system. So I will have Amanda next week. On gonna be interesting. A lot of experimental music also.
Great.
And has a little bit of connection on experimental scene. That's gonna be interesting. I see Dylan has got two questions. Let me push them in two. So you would like to know a little bit about the music software that you've designed, and what do you gravitate to, more hardware or software?
The second question is easier, so I'll start with that one. I go back and forth. Sometimes I like to sit down with either just the Eurorack case and just not have any kind of screen in front of me and just work with that. Sometimes I want to be in a bit of a hybrid mindset where I am working either with this thing, the Nord G2, or because it has a software editor for it, or I'll sit down with both the Eurorack and Mainstage together and kind of use them in tandem, because sometimes I have an idea, but I don't have the hardware for it in front of me, and I want to do it now and don't want to wait to buy something. Other times I just want to sit down and chill at night and work in Max, because it's a very low-key way to just try something fast. without getting gear turned on and everything. Or if I'm traveling, especially, I'll just take like a Sensor Morph and Max with me, and that becomes the tool set for a week while I'm traveling and want some personal time to work on something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. So yeah, we spoke before, and you were talking. You have the morph, and then you went into the gut of the morph to, get the stream from it and remap it.
Yeah, and that's actually why I put this piece in the set we're going to play, is that it's one that parses the raw morph data. A lot of times this is the morph here with the innovators overlay. A lot of times the standard way to use it is that you have controller regions and they all map to MIDI NTE data. Instead, I'm treating it more like if you're a developer on an iPad or an iPhone and you're just grabbing raw touch data. So I can say I'm touching here and that does something, or I'm touching here and that does something else. And that's what's in that performance. And it's not doing the standard regional mapping thing. It's more abstract mapping, where even the order in which my fingers touch it matters. So it's interesting that these things come up when you start to work at a lower level, but they also open you up to different performance ideas, because now all of a sudden, like, gestural things become more important on the surface, as opposed to just using it like a regional picking type interface. Historically, I've studied a lot of user interface design, so that's coming into my wanting to try things that are a bit out of the box in terms of how you interface with an instrument.
Yeah, that's interesting. We're reaching to half of the hour. That's usually when music break, and then also we can hear what type of music you do, rather than to talk about it. We can do it. Before we go there, so I just want to remind people, please follow, subscribe, like, make some noise over the internet, the intertube. That's really helpful, and so you can go off the next show. Amanda says she's looking forward to next week. Me too, so it's gonna be interesting. Good to have online. I've got Alphaster, I've got HR Terror, I've got Dylan Sang, so AM Philosophy, I've got Modular Genome Project, Andrew Bonnard and Nelly Bonnard, that have just become a subscriber, part of Bandcamp community, so thank you for joining. Got Mariana Novakovic, I see Franck, me, so right now, need the Franck. Electric Kitchen also is here. If I forgot anybody, or if you are here and you stay silent, please type in the chat, just say hi. I'm happy to do shout out. If you've got any news, release, project, and everything, I'm more happy that to share it with everybody. We are a community, help each other to do your promo. All right. Being saying that, and I've got Darwin in words. Okay, thank you very much, Darwin. That's awesome. All right, so time to get to the music part, and I guess just after we'll talk about your what are you using, or we'll have questions. What module? Okay, and I want to paste also on the chat. We're gonna try it. So if you want to join on the video chat and ask your question directly to Malarki, here is a link. Feel free to join. The moment we'll have about 10 minutes of music, and then beyond this discussion. You in a few minutes. come back. That was awesome, Malarki. Very nice. I saw people in the comments. It was really nice from everybody. Yes, they really enjoyed this piece. So the funny comment was from Electric Kitchen. Skynet is descending. Really nice. So yeah, if you've got a question, please put them in the chat. And also, if you want to ask a question and join this video call, please feel free. I gave the link in the chat, so you need to click on it. I will video conferencing. It's nice to participate. But I don't know. Usually people are shy, but it's okay. You can join the call and participate with us. It's. I saw also Caleb Duarte join. Caleb run also a podcast on Dan and color it out on YouTube. There's a name Caleb. So I don't know. What were you using, and I don't know if you can describe a little bit. What did you come around?
Yeah, so it's kind of like three pieces in my mind that I put together as a set. The first one is it's based on a chord progression that I've been working out on the piano actually for a few years now. And I took that and mixed it with this kind of dark ambient patch that I've also been using on the Nord G2 for a couple of years. And it's kind of sets an interesting vibe, but it also builds up in that it's got these feedback voices and feedback delay singles in there that kind of really create an interesting, tense atmosphere. The second part I included in part because it was taking advantage of the sense of morph and just using it in a different way, and that's really fun to show people. That is, it's all harmonics, so everything is like the internal voices, they're all tuned relative to each other through octaves, but then they're all FM voices, which means that you're going to all the harmonics that come from the FM signals, which are driven by how I'm touching it at any given moment. It's a bit more of an abstract soundscaping piece. The last one's on the Euro rack. That was also kind of built around building up chord progressions to kind of set the vibe. That was brand new this week. And like the way I tend to work in Euro rack is figuring out essentially what are chord progressions, but I'm not consciously thinking of them that way. I will often use something like the pressure points to have three different tones going through three different voices, and that forms the core of whatever I'm building, and everything else kind of builds around that. So the part where you hear what sounds like chord progressions, that's where that's coming from. And then like all the other things are built on top of that. That was very much a let's make something fast that kind of captures the mood that we're all in right now. They're very much responsive to the state of mind that we go through at the time.
Yeah, and I spotted you've got a no control also.
Yeah, so the no control is driving this part of the mix, but you can lock it on different parts of it. That was kind of one of the tones that was building up the chord progression in there, and you could hear it going through the different voices on there. I'm just starting to explore it, so I've not dug through it in depth. I'm just saying, hey, this would be great to try this. I was really fascinated by the timing control there.
Yeah, I've got a verbose, always mix up the names, multi-stage CV controller.
That's right here. That's driving the Mr. On's timbre.
Yeah, which is, I don't know, it's very close also to the no control. No control has got, I don't know, 50% of the functionality. That, and they're really interesting because also you can patch one CV back into timing and different patterns. You add quantizer and then a couple of modules, and then you get close to the very nice that control. They put all this stuff together and really be tight.
Yeah, I really like the touch-based stage selection on it. Sometimes you improvise over that.
You are telling me also you've got a few verbose modules.
A few. So harmonic oscillator, the multi-envelope, the scan and pan, the voltage multi-stage. Those are what I have. So I have a mental list of other ones that I want to get, so I have to remember which ones are in there or not. I like them because they're very direct. I like direct user interfaces. I like performable interfaces. That's also why I like to include keyboard modular pieces. And also, like when I use Macs, I'm not sitting at a laptop and using it. I like to move everything onto an iPad, so it's more performable. A lot of it for me is what is direct. I want to see right in front of me what it is that I'm doing, so I don't have to take a second mental leap of remembering what is stored inside the system in some state somewhere. But those things are useful to me, but I like to have those be things that are not on my mind while I'm performing. And I'd like to see a lot more in front of me. And that's why I like verbose modules.
Yeah, I found out also it's a little bit my way. I prefer to what you see is what you get.
Yeah, and like for anything that I choose, that's kind of one personal philosophy.
No, it's a personal approach. People they like to have sequencer that programs and time is a little bit easy for you have got many different tracks. And I said because
yeah, it doesn't really matter which piece of gear it is. It's for me, it's like the choice of gear is like an exploration of what kind of comes back to what's going to let me drive speaking my voice and music the right way.
Yeah, it's in the beginning you start modular and you don't know what you want. You start by the basic, filter or a semi-modular because everything is there at an affordable price, and then you start to figure it out what type of what type. You hear people doing music and this module is cool.
I also like to take things that I don't particularly like and try to make something on them. So not to call anything out, but suppose there's a module that I bought that I didn't like. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll force myself to build a piece around it just because it forces me to think outside the box. Or a software system that didn't connect to me, I'll go back and try to make a track in any way, just so it forces me to think outside the box.
Ayana was mentioning in Wobble, so something I used to do at Workers Park. And what we did a few times is so you totally unpatch your Euro rack and you swap. So I would perform on somebody else Euro rack, and we've got time, so it's not a performance, but I've got somebody else Euro rack with different module that I don't know. I need to build a patch from there, so it's interesting. And then when you come back, then you say, "Oh, that's interesting what you did with my modules because I've done that."
Yeah,
so you discover some new track. And
I also like to put gear away for a few months at a time. Like I'll just take the whole Euro rack system and just stick it under my desk for months and not think about it. And when I come back to it, I approach it completely differently.
Yeah. I guess it's part of a progression. I'm still checking on the chat, so if you want to ask any question to Mara, just say hi, please. Feel free. Maybe we should. We are getting close to the top of the hours. Maybe you should. Earlier when we were discussing, you were talking about a couple of project. I guess part of our grid, but do you have any project that? Or I'm interested about Malarki. Where do I go?
In terms of finding music, Bandcamp is a good place to take a look. Malarki.net is the website that I have. It's mostly a place to redirect you to the things that I keep up to date, which includes Bandcamp and Spotify, and Instagram is a place that I'm regularly active. There are Twitter and YouTube accounts, but I'm not as active on those. In terms of work that's happening, there's a release that I'm in the midst of pulling all together right now, and that will be an air-grid release later in summer. There's an entire album's worth of Max MSP stuff that I haven't decided what to do with yet, but I think I'm going to sit on it for a while. While I just kind of listen to it and wrap my head around it. It gets pretty abstract at times. So.
Yes, I think
in the middle is part of it.
I think few people have been working on music composition and things like that. Even I think that you and me are still working from home, so they are off field. But as you can't go anywhere and don't do much, then it's nice to be able to go on the music side. And in general, we've been I found myself a little bit more productive on the music.
I keep it as regular practice, like even when I'm not actively making music in terms of recording something or preparing a streaming set, I just practice. And even when I kind of kept music private for a number of years, I was regularly practicing something all the time and learning new instruments. It's a good way to expand how you think about things.
Oh, Alphastar is asking, are you mastering your own works?
I have in the past. I don't intend to going forward for the most part, and part of it's that I realized it takes me a very long time to get it to a place that I'm decently happy with it, and it's probably better to hand that off to someone who has more experience and can do that a lot faster. And that's kind of my personal choice. But I'm also really glad that I did it because I've learned a lot about the process and things to look out for.
Yeah, it's I tend to master everything, but I did mastering of an album. Nice to learn from it and learn some feedback. Better understand how do you make something that is going to be playable on Bandcamp, and also that you can pass to an audio. Doesn't go, oh my goodness, I've got some work here.
I've done it myself. Part of the reason it takes a long time is that I carry it around on my phone and play it in lots of different environments, and then make tons of notes and just repeat that process over and over. And it takes weeks for me, so I don't want to spend that much time on it.
Yeah, and it's a new skill to learn, and once again, you may be hearing the problems, but you don't know to solve them. So you have to do mastering on some other people. What is it? Oh, that's good. But yeah, when you do self-release and doing self-music, then you're able to deal with a little. But still say, yeah, lots of listening involved, yeah. And then you can, I don't know, I tend to not try to do more than like 30 minutes, 1 hour. So it's becoming very mushy. If I've got fresh air, then, oh yes, that. And after 1 hour, I turn knobs and I can't hear the change anymore.
Yeah, I tend to work on even when I'm mixing, I'm working on multiple things in parallel. In that I'll have like 5 tracks that I'll touch over the course of 2 hours, and then put updates to them on my phone and just play them over the next couple of days, and just write down notes for the next pass, and then do all of them again, and just repeat that until I kind of stop hearing problems.
Yeah, also it takes I think it's a good idea also to take time to it and download it put it on a couple of other devices and get familiar with it and take your time.
I make my kids listen to it and ask them questions. That's really useful. They say simple things, but they're actually well informed from a point of view where they don't hold back.
All right. Anybody else? So I would like to remind people, click on like, follow, go to Malarki Bandcamp site and also follow him there. There's a few also artists on the chat, so if check. I think I'm going to wrap up. I don't know. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about or do some shout out?
Not particularly. Keep an eye on what Eric's doing. There's going to be a lot of very cool stuff coming out. I'll be saying more about my stuff probably in a month. Targeted towards late summer right now.
Yeah, I spoke with Nandel recently. Looking forward to. I think you say it's the next album that's going to be released on. Oh no, that's the last one that was released on Error Grid.
Yeah, there's another one coming this week from. Tate Silverlines is the 25th, and then Defanic Centipede is coming up 2 weeks after that.
Cool, I'm looking forward to it. And also for everybody, I've got a playlist on Spotify and Apple. If you have got modular synth music piece that are less than 10 minutes, send it my way. I like to have one piece per artist, and it's a good showcase of everybody that play on modular. Modular synth is not really a genre because there's all kind of style of music, but it's a kind of a philosophy also, like violin piece, cello piece.
So it's also a great playlist to listen to just discover the different styles of music that can be made with it, because when you first start on it, it feels very technical, but lets you kind of gives you a heads up of, hey, there's all these different creative places that you can take it to.
Yeah, and also hello on electronic music to have some piece that offer a listening experience than the dance experience. All right. So yeah, please feel free to reach out. So that was the news that I had. So what I would say, Waveform magazine issue 4 was released last Saturday. Go to the site, subscribe to it. It's a very nice magazine. Talk about Envelope that has got a listening room in San Francisco with 34 speakers, special sound. Nice place also to check. For the moment, I've been streaming things, but they should be reopening is for them. Canada, I've got Resident Electronic Music on the 14th of July. This is pre-recorded piece that we watch together with all the artists. Looking for submission. Electric Kitchen said that Resonant Frequency is on the 5th of July, Sunday 5th of July, and I know that Alpha Star will be one of the artists, and it's also in the cloud, but it's all streamed live. Electric is doing a great job of getting everybody coordinated on the internet and creating a show.
He's the technical wizard who keeps the whole thing together.
With the support of Kevin and the T-Bill. The T-Bill do a lot of the. What else? Jean-Michel Jarre, live VR tomorrow at 12 Pacific time. That's gonna be interesting. Yesterday was Bandcamp where they donated revenue for the sale of the music to the NAACP. Talk about the San Francisco Tape Music Collective that has released an album on Bandcamp and various experimental music. Nice collection. Each piece is a little bit different. Really interesting. This is a progression from the original San Francisco Tape Music Center. And I had Malarki with me today. And I would like to finish to thank Nelly and Andrew Bonnard from joining my Bandcamp subscriptions. And also Franck Semi also subscribed to YouTube. So yes, and I was with Malarki. So the last word are for you.
Because you just listed off all these people. A quick reminder: Electric Kitchen released a really cool album yesterday, based on some of his recent concert performances. So check that out too.
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for showing up. Thanks for all the cheers and support for music. Malarki performed really awesome in this show. Oh, and thanks me also on Instagram, and hope also that a few of the people have subscribed to you, following you on Bandcamp, Instagram, and everywhere on the web. Thanks again, Malarki, for.
Thank you.
Awesome. Right. To launch the outro, everybody.